Dickies Arena is going to host the weigh-in every single day this week. And Ray Roberts, that is the place where 56 anglers will take off today and compete for the World Championship in the sport of bass fishing. Welcome in to the Facebook Live pre-show brought to you by Tennessee Tourism. It's going to be a great week here for the Bassmaster Classic. Ray Roberts, second time we've had a Classic here, Such, but the last time we came here, it was in the middle of the summer, 2021, and it was far different than things we will see this week.
Yeah, we had water that was probably up in the bushes. Now it's down below. There's hardly any buckbrush in the water. We got 4 storylines: wind, wind, and wind, Ronnie.
Absolutely.
And like
4 letters that describe this week is W-I-N-D, wind. That's going to be a big topic we talk about all week, but we are here in downtown Fort Worth. The Bassmaster Live set just outside the Fort Worth Convention Center, and like we said, Dickies Arena, that's going to be the place where the weigh-in is housed. All 56 anglers will make their way back from the lake, hopefully with a lot less traffic than the last time we were here, and they will slide into Dickies Arena, where one angler will be the world champion Sunday evening here for the Bassmaster Classic.
Ronnie, there's 53 guys who could become the 44th man to ever hold a Classic trophy. 3 former previous winners, Justin Hamner, Jordan Lee, and Jeff Gustafson are in our field.
Absolutely. 3 past champions, like you said, Such, but it's wide open. We have 18 anglers fishing their first Bassmaster Classic. Almost a third of our field, Such, is fishing the Classic for the first time. There's going to be some nerves. We've already had some adjustments. The takeoff ramp that everything was expected to be at, that's not where the anglers launched this morning with the heavy winds that we're expecting from the southwest today. It's blowing right in on takeoff, so a little bit of an adjustment period for them to launch today. We should be back to normal the rest of the week, but we're so happy to be here in Fort Worth, starting early this morning. Such, the lights are bright. Even though it's still dark outside, we can still feel the wind a little bit, but you mentioned it, 3 Classic champs in our field: Justin Hamner, Jeff Gustafson, and Jordan Lee. And we got to talk to Justin Hamner not only last year, but this year, and his reaction to winning.
Just the emotions and stuff that this brings. What just happened to our lives, how tough it's been. I mean, you don't know. I was fishing opens. I was scrounging around trying to find change under my seat because I didn't make a check at one of the opens just so I could buy a $1 cheeseburger from McDonald's. Freaking crazy.
We say it's a life-changing event, and it absolutely is. Not only the prize money, Such, but what's at stake. Your name will be etched in a trophy forever as one of the Classic champions. So we take a look at Ray Roberts. This was the other day, and the wind, Such, I was out there on Wednesday for final day of practice.
Fun.
That northwest wind, that was something that was absolutely brutal. It was a very difficult direction the wind came from, and when you have 30 miles an hour sustained winds and gusts in the 50s during practice, it really made practice hard to negotiate for anglers, especially ones that don't know this body of water. So guys like Chris Zaldain, Lee Livesey, anglers who have fished here before or know it well, all those little spots that you need time to find, they didn't really have efficient time to work with this week.
These guys were kind of like the astronauts stuck in space for 9 weeks, but they've been in a Texas wind tunnel for the last whole week, Ronnie. A lot of practices. Guys have come off half a day if they could stand that long, fixing their boats and having all kinds of issues getting back on trailers.
You may look at the wind today and say, well, it's still going to be bad today. They will take a 15 to 20 mile an hour sustained wind throughout the day, Such, way more than 30 with 50 mile an hour gusts. So we will see how it looks, but as you look at the dam from this shot right here, the wind will be coming from the dam today. And so instead of from the northwest, it's coming from the south and eventually from the southwest this week, or today. It'll switch around each day, I believe.
It's going to build all day today. It's kind of light now. It's only around 10 miles an hour, Ronnie. It's going to get up to 20 with gusts of 40 miles an hour today.
Takeoff is just 25 minutes away, so anglers are dumping their boats in the water, like we said, an adjusted takeoff location. And we got to talk to some of our anglers, including our 2024 Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year, Chris Johnston. Very unsure about his week, but he knows the big ones live here.
This morning?
You know what? The nerves are not too bad, to be honest, but it's going to be a tough day. I know that going in. If I got 7 bites today, that would be a great day. But if you get 7 bites, I think you're going to get a couple big ones. I think it's easier to catch a fish over 2 pounds, over 2 or 3 pounds here on Ray Roberts than it is a small one. There's not a big population of small bass I'm finding, but it's got some big ones. And like I said, if you get 5 of them in the boat, I think you're going to have a couple good ones. That's the goal today. We're going to start on 1 or 2 little sneaky ones. You'll see there when we get there, but hopefully get 2 or 3 in the boat fairly early, take the pressure off. Then we're going to kind of start dissecting some wood, flipping a jig, and kind of go for a random big bite.
That sums up some of these anglers' practices, Such, that the big ones live here, but not plentiful bites. So that makes it difficult when you're practicing. You're looking to get bit to start to establish a pattern, but a lot of these areas, small rock piles, things off the bank, other stuff we'll get into, there may be 1 fish on that deal, and it's a 5+ pounder. And so it's hard to really establish a pattern because then you go a long time without a bite. But the possibility this week, Such, of someone winning the Classic without 15 bass over 3 days is a great possibility. Someone could catch 3 fish for 16 pounds and still be well within winning this Classic.
We saw 2 double-digit fish caught in practice. Lee Livesey with a 12.5 pounder, Tyler Williams with a 10+, but they only had like 2 or 3 bites that day.
Tyler Williams.
If you fill a bag with a couple of those, you could get near 30. We have records in our
Absolutely could fall.
Definitely.
Tyler Williams said in practice that 10-pounder he caught, he also caught an 8-pounder. So that day he would have weighed in 2 for 18 pounds.
Hey, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. But when we were here the last time, we said it was vastly different. The water was 4 or 5 feet above full pool. We are a foot below right now. And Hank Cherry won the first summertime Classic we had since 2005.
Bacon.
Let's go! Brother Grace?
That's for you, sweetheart.
Whoa! That was just the second Such Classic victory for Hank Cherry. He went back-to-back. He won his first one at Guntersville in 2020 and then came to Ray Roberts and won in 2021. He will not be in our field this week. He did not make the Bassmaster Classic, but it's very difficult to have maybe confidence in the way this lake would fish when it looked so different. Even Matt Airy, who got second last time we were here, he was one of the most disheveled, disappointed, frustrated, almost, I would say, spun out I've seen Matt Airy ever in a tournament. And for it to be the Classic, the practice was tough this week.
There's a lot of them wondering what's going to happen and what they're going to have to do. A lot of them said, yes, this tournament will require the most strategy of any tournament ever.
Hank Cherry's win in this Classic gave him back-to-back, and he's the 4th angler ever to win back-to-back, with Rick Clunn, Kevin Van Dam, Jordan Lee, and Hank Cherry adding his name to the books there. Justin Hamner trying to go back-to-back, Such.
Yeah.
And I know the emotions Hamner had.
Oh.
This kind of sets up well for him, but people were wondering, is this going to be dominated by live scope and a jig head minnow? I don't think so. The fish aren't positioned like that. Normally you need a lot of population of fish, suspended. We have a lot of trash fish, and when we say trash fish, non-bass, carp, catfish, crappie, white bass, all kinds of things in a drum, all kinds of things in the water column, and a lot of these big ones that they're targeting are bottom-dwelling fish on that structure. You're looking for that old school structure where you're scanning around with 360 or your side imaging for a little bitty spot that they could hold.
I don't believe all of them, but they had a photo gallery of their first bait they were going to throw. So a lot of jerk baits, a lot of red crankbaits, worms, swim baits, the glider. What do you think is going to play most?
I saw Zaldane throwing a big swim bait in practice. I think a jig could factor for sure. We could see a big crankbait. I think we will see electronics factor this week, no doubt, but it won't be the norm that we've been seeing with finesse tactics. It's a lot of power fishing, but just being able to see your target in this wind is going to be key, and that's going to make it difficult too. There's some Texas guys that are really excited about their odds this week as well.
The 2025 Bassmaster Classic is here, and it's set on iconic Lake Ray Roberts in Fort Worth, Texas. For 3 Texas anglers, this year's event is a chance to showcase their skills on home turf. First up, Chris Zaldain from Fort Worth, a true big bait specialist. Known for his mastery of throwing large swim baits and deep water tactics, Zaldain has been dominating with his aggressive approach to bass fishing.
Again, when you're targeting a 9 or 10 pound fish, that fish is smart. That fish has been around the block a time or two. That fish has seen a million, crankbaits, jigs, and spinnerbaits.
Next, Lee Livesey from Longview, Texas, a heavyweight contender in the tournament. Livesey's known for his deep knowledge of big fish and his ability to capitalize on the lake's most challenging conditions. With a history of dominating heavyweights, Lee's a serious threat.
Yes!
Like I said, my confidence is sky high. I know where I want to be. I know the few areas that I think I can win out of doing what I do to hoist that trophy Sunday night.
Boom! Glide bait? You kidding me?
And newcomer Ben Milliken from New Caney, Texas has made waves not just for his fishing, but for his social media savvy. With a huge online following, Ben proved his worth by qualifying for the Elite Series. And now he's ready to show the world what he's made of. With Texas pride on the line, these anglers, Zaldain, Livesey, and Milliken, are ready to make waves at the 2025 Bassmaster Classic.
Those are the 3 anglers that call Texas home currently. Obviously, we know Ben Milliken from Nebraska, Chris Zaldain from the West Coast, and Lee Livesey from this state, but a little east of here. There are 10 anglers, Such, that we're covering today. Lee Livesey and Chris Zaldain will be a part of that group. We will have 2-time Classic champ Jordan Lee. We'll have defending champ Justin Hamner, and then some of the biggest names in the sport, guys like Greg Hackney fishing his 19th Bassmaster Classic, the most seasoned angler in the field. You have the Johnston brothers. Both of them should be in it to win it. Taku Ito. That's why we get the gist that it might not be easy for those anglers with electronics based on Taku's practice and others as well. We'll also have Scott Martin and Trey McKinney on camera today. There's your 10, Such.
Quite a salty bunch there, Ronnie Moore.
Hey, it doesn't get any easier, no doubt about it. A couple of those anglers fishing their first Classic, a couple seasoned as well, a couple with Classic titles in their resume. And we talk about local advantage. We see those 3 Texan anglers in the field that we talked about. Maybe Ben Milliken's not a local here, but stylistically, this lake sets up well for him. Before Lee Livesey traveled nationally, he was a local around here fishing team tournaments, and then we know Zaldain is the closest to this lake. Like we mentioned, though, we got a couple Canadians. We have Australian in our field, a few anglers from Japan as well. This is truly a world champion with as many international anglers that are represented.
I'm Takumi Ito. I'm from Japan. I'm very, very happy qualifying the Bassmaster Classic because I'm a child. I was a child. I watched Bassmaster Classic every year.
I do think it was the first time I ever saw a Bassmaster Classic weigh in as a kid. I saw the anglers weighing in the stadium and the fishing, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
It's really cool being an international angler and being able to compete in the Classic. And not only do you want to do well for yourself, your family and friends, but you also have a whole country pulling for you. Being an international angler and qualifying for the Classic this year in Texas is pretty special and makes you proud for sure.
The best part about fishing in Texas is you just never know what you're going to catch on any cast. There's a lot of Canadians that it's a dream come true, so I'm going to go give it my best shot, and I want to win this baby.
A wire-to-wire win for Jeff Gustafson, your 2023 Bassmaster Classic champion, Jeff Gustafson.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Such, but I believe we have 7 international anglers in our field this week. You've got the Johnston brothers, Gussie, Cooper Gallant. There's 4 from Canada.
Yeah.
You've got 2 Japanese anglers in Taku Ito and Kiyoya Fujita. And then you've got Carl Jacobson from Australia. 7
That's
anglers.
7.
Yeah, 7 of our 56 are international. Very cool to see the sport of fishing go to the ends of the earth and honestly ingrain that inspiration and passion to so many. And it's very cool to see. Taku said, I said, do fans in Japan know about the Classic? And he said, oh, they know that I'm practicing for the Classic, that the Classic is this week, and they know what times they need to stay up to or get up to watch the Classic because of the time change.
And the Australians, they show up here. There's got a group coming here. They stay up all night. Japanese have been here with their flags.
Absolutely.
A lot of classics.
The last Opens winner we had, Yui Aoki from Japan, and then we also have Tommy Wood from Australia in the Opens competing as well. And so those are some names that are on the way to the Elite Series. We talk about the Johnston brothers making their way to the Elite Series, and honestly, it's created a wave of Canadian involvement in Bassmaster events. You now have Cooper Gallant and Jeff Gustafson all a part of that group as well with the Johnstons, and now this year Evan Kung joining the group. I believe he was tops in the Rookie of the Year race after our first event and still doing well this season overall.
MC Dave Mercer keeps saying we need a Canadian to get Rookie of the Year. That's the last frontier.
That's the last one. A lot to be decided this week. 56 anglers. Takeoff starts in 14 minutes or so from the adjusted takeoff location of Lake Ray Roberts Marina currently. We will be back, I believe, to our normally scheduled takeoff location on the east side of the lake when conditions allow it. We've never had a canceled day of the Classic, Such, knock on wood, but people were asking all week, are we going to cancel the day? And I said, we will figure out a way to get all 3 days of the World Championship in this week, and they are making the adjustments that they can. But Ray Roberts, not the biggest fishery, Such, we've had for a Classic, about the same size as Lake Fork, but boy, she growls when the wind blows.
Yeah, that wind's going to tighten up the field, Ryan. We're going to see a lot of guys fishing in same areas.
We've got some rock piles to fish, brush as well. There's timber in this lake aplenty, as well as some milfoil we've heard. There will be plenty of anglers doing different things. We could see an angler win the Classic on this final day coming up on Sunday that didn't know they were in it to win it. Our coverage begins with the full crew. We'll have Tommy, we'll have Davey, we'll have Peter Miller, and we will have Mark Zona. Short-lived retirement. He's back soon.
Yeah, he's back.
8:30 on Bassmaster.com.
Biggest stage. Big dreams, right?
And we'll be on Bassmaster.com and Roku all day with coverage. Make sure you check that out. If you're here in Fort Worth, the Expo as well. Anywhere and everywhere. We will see you at the Classic.
Let's go.